morning digging out. Some people out east seeing more than 2 feet of snow. Slick roads making for a tough commute. Now the efforts to clear the roads this morning, the latest on the cleanup.
Plus, Arctic air, freezing temperatures setting in this weekend across Indiana. Our weather is tracking how low we will go and if there's a warm up on the way.
And the biggest game of the year, Bucks versus Chiefs. Tom Brady preparing for his 10th Super Bowl, but his first with his new team. Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes hoping for a repeat of last year's win. This morning, our sports team breaking it all down for you. Get the coffee ready and open up those eyes. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, live from the Ball State Weather Center.
Don't get me wrong, I think Muncie is beautiful, but that is the shot right there this morning that we all love. Tampa Bay, or as it's known now, Tampa Bay, the Bucks, the Chiefs going head-to-head. Super Bowl 55, just over 48 hours away. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us. Look who I have, our sports director over in NewsLink, Indiana, Blake Dahlier, hanging with us today.
Coming over to the news side, it feels kind of good to be at the desk. I haven't been here in quite a while, actually.
Yeah, you were like, wait, where is everything? Where's my mic at? So hopefully we'll get you settled in here this morning. And by the way, the Chiefs and the Buccaneers, that's going to be a huge game. I know you and Nathan Gidley will be breaking it down.
Yeah, that'll be coming up a little bit later, so everybody will have to stick around. But my goodness, did you expect this? I didn't expect Tom Brady to be in another Super Bowl.
Yeah, who knew that it would have happened? And by the way, like I said, mid-50s in Tampa, but we are at, I believe, 19 degrees here in Muncie. Nathan Gidley, good morning to you. Also, it's a huge day for Nathan Gidley and all of our weather friends. It's National Weather Person's Day.
Hey!
So, congratulations.
Thanks. Welcome back, everybody. Good to be back. Well, it is a cold morning outside. The cold front did work its way through last night. That's created some flash freeze outside this morning as that wet pavement has frozen overnight. So it's a very slick morning. Give yourself a few extra minutes heading out to work or school here this morning. Cold temperatures are the story. 20 degrees here in Muncie, 15 in Fort Wayne, 16 in Kokomo, and 20 in Lafayette. This is colder compared to this time yesterday as that cold front swept on through. 9 degrees colder in Muncie, 10 degrees colder in Kokomo, and 14 degrees colder there in Lafayette. A very windy day expected here up ahead. It's still windy here this morning. 11 degrees here in Muncie, 11 miles per hour there in Muncie. Those winds really blasted through as we headed through last night. Still windy here throughout the day. And with these winds, look at these wind chills outside right now. 8 degrees is what it feels like in Muncie. -3 going below 0 up in Fort Wayne. And 0 degrees is what it feels like in Kokomo. Now coming up, I want to track the wind chills here throughout the rest of the day and those wind gusts, as well as detail our next snow chance. All that coming up in my full forecast.
All right, Nathan, thank you so much. At 8:03 now, as we know, Punxsutawney Phil, he predicted 6 more weeks of winter. I don't know about you, I am not a fan of that. And by the way, that effect, it was felt on the Atlantic coast this week. John Lawrence reports on how the nor'easter that dumped loads of snow on the East Coast, and he also tells us about how people are cleaning up.
The first nor'easter of 2021 is bringing boatloads of snow to states from the mid-Atlantic to the Northeast.
Let me say this unequivocally, this is a big one.
It's a big one indeed. Forecasters say New York City could see up to 2 feet of snow.
It's a little challenging. The gentleman had to hold me because I was flat, like I was lifting off the ground.
Nearly 65 million people in 12 states are under a winter watch or warning this week. A state of emergency was declared ahead of the storm in New Jersey.
You must be out. Please, God, be careful. But if you don't need to be out, do not go out. And if you're out right now and you don't need to be out, safely find your way home, lock the door, sit on the couch, and stay home until further notice.
But some still have to trudge out in the snow to get to work.
And it's crazy out here. Everyone can't stay at home. I wish I could stay at home.
But others are bundling up and making the most of the blustery conditions.
We love it. We're from upstate New York, so this is like normal for us. I feel like we love a snowstorm. We're prepared, although we have snow tires.
Yeah, just getting a nice walk. I work from home, so every once in a while I take these breaks.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And not just the U.S. After hitting the East Coast, the nor'easter made its impact on Canada's Atlantic provinces. In New Brunswick, up to 17 inches of snow fell in some parts of the province. The storm knocked out power, closed schools, and shut down many businesses. In Nova Scotia, the heavy snow turned to rain, where over 3 inches fell. Strong winds were also a problem, where the winds gusted up to 60 miles an hour.
And Blake, as the East Coast is dealing with snow, people in Michigan are having issues with ice, which is leading to flooding problems along the St. Clair River. Check this out here. The icy water flowed into their backyards and even onto roads and parking lots. The ice jams are believed to be the biggest culprit of all of this, which is forcing the flooding inland. Both the U.S. and Canadian Coast Guards are working together to help stop the flooding. People in the area are worried that it could cause more damage.
So it was underneath our dock last night, and they said more water was going to rise through the night. When we woke up, the yard was flooded, and we thought it was flooded enough.
The situation caused a flood warning for St. Clair County, but it has since been lifted.
Well, and spring's on the way, and for anyone hoping to see a swift end to this winter, Puxatawny Phil may have seen his shadow, but he's getting a second opinion. Georgia's General Bugard Lee spread some cheer when he did not see his shadow. He spent a few minutes looking at the grounds on that very, very cold morning and it declared an early spring. So whether warmer weather is going to prevail or winter will hold strong, the first official day of spring isn't for another 6 weeks on March 20th.
Yeah, we hope he's right. And meanwhile, the Biden administration is working to release climate disaster-related aid to Puerto Rico. Press Secretary Jen Psaki says they are also looking into changing the terms of the aid.
The administration is releasing $1.3 billion in aid allocated by Congress to Puerto Rico that can be deployed to protect against future climate disasters. In partnership with the Puerto Rico Department of Housing, the administration is also working to remove onerous restrictions put in place by the last administration on nearly $5 billion in additional funds.
Last week, the Puerto Rican governor indicated he'd been in touch with the Biden White House about releasing the aid. Most of it has been withheld since it was allocated by Congress back in 2017. The money will help with reconstruction on the island. Just ahead here this morning as the COVID-19 vaccine rollout continues, new variants of the virus are sweeping across the country. We've got your coronavirus headlines here in moments.
That's after your weather now.
Tampa, Florida, the site of Super Bowl 55. A very beautiful morning out there. 8:08 is your time right now. Talk about some coronavirus headlines here at Ball State. They're planning on expanding COVID-19 testing access for asymptomatic students. Beginning Tuesday, the university will begin offering rapid antigen testing. The announcement was made in an email to students yesterday. These tests will be available for free to both staff and students 3 days a week. At Worthen Arena, the university also says it will require COVID-19 tests for specific individuals throughout the semester. Now, they have not specified who will need to be tested or when it will happen. Also this morning, a new study shows rapid coronavirus testing can help cut infection rates in schools. The Rockefeller Foundation partnered with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to make 20,000 tests available in 6 pilot cities. Each city developed testing programs that ran from October to mid-December. Infection rates in pilot cities were cut by 50% in high schools and 35% in elementary and middle schools. However, the study found that social distancing reduces transmission by 88%.
Johnson & Johnson has applied for emergency use of its vaccine in the U.S. Last night, the company asked the Food and Drug Administration to okay their one-time dose. It is said to be 85% effective against COVID-19 related hospitalizations and deaths. If the FDA approves the request, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention will discuss whether it is safe and who should get it first. It is unclear at this time how long the regulatory process will take. For Pfizer's product, it took a little more than 3 weeks, and for Moderna, it took just 2. Johnson & Johnson says it can deliver 100 million doses by June. We're only in the first week of February, and already more than 100,000 people have now died of the coronavirus this year alone. And as the nation struggles to fight two battles against the pandemic, Daryl Forges has the latest on the new variants and how to get people vaccinated.
What we have to be careful of is that as the virus continues to replicate, it will accumulate more mutations.
New cases of likely more transmissible coronavirus variants has health officials on alert.
The best way to prevent the evolution of mutations is to suppress the replication of the virus in the community, which means that we need to vaccinate as many people as quickly as we possibly can.
Now, the Biden administration is making a plan to do just that, announcing vaccines will now be shipped directly to thousands of pharmacies across America, but supply is expected to be short at first.
I wanted to set expectations appropriately. Due to the current supply constraints, this will be limited when it begins next week.
CVS is planning to start giving shots in some states on February 11th and Walgreens in some jurisdictions on the 12th.
In this first phase of the program, supply will be at only about 6,500 stores nationwide before expanding.
Despite the efforts, some officials worry the access to the federal government's pharmacy giant partners won't be so effective in rural areas of the country.
We think they did a pretty decent job, but of course it's not going to cover all gaps. And so that's why we've got kind of multiple tools in the tool shed.
I'm Daryl Forges reporting.
All right, let's talk COVID relief now. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris spoke with Democratic congressional leaders to address the COVID relief plan. This comes after the House approved a budget resolution Wednesday allowing Democrats to begin drafting a COVID relief plan. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says he felt current progress on that plan does not reflect a bipartisan effort.
Democrats in Congress are plowing ahead. They're using this phony budget to set the table to ram through their $1.9 trillion rough draft.
Biden told House Democrats to stick together in the push to provide relief to millions of Americans. He has signaled that he is open to narrowing the distribution of $1,400 stimulus checks, although he has not indicated a willingness to lower the price of that plan.
I don't think the problem is that we're going to go too big to deal with this crisis. The problem is we're going to go too small.
And we do want to note a group of Senate Republicans have proposed a $600 billion plan. Any package is expected to include funding to help speed up vaccine distribution efforts and stimulus payments for many Americans.
The number of COVID-19 vaccinations administered globally surpassed the total number of confirmed cases. This according to the estimates from Johns Hopkins University and Our World in Data, a data research site based at the University of Oxford. Over 104 million coronavirus cases have been reported worldwide. An estimated 104.8 million vaccine doses have been given. Our World in Data estimates about 83 million people worldwide have received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, and roughly 12.7 million people have been fully vaccinated.
At 8:13 now, hey, it's cold out there. I know it's been kind of a mixed bag across the country. You know, we've been talking about the cold here in the Midwest, but
really
down
icy
south,
across campus too.
Yeah, icy across campus. I know down south though in Tampa, we've been talking about it. We're kind of jealous of them, right?
Oh, I could do anything right now for 55 degrees. I just wish we could get this warm weather, maybe go out and play some golf.
Yeah, hopefully you can get out and play some golf. I know Nathan Gidley, he also loves golf. He has a check now of our national weather. Hey there, Nathan.
Oh yes, get me excited about golf and more. But cold temperatures remain the story here nationally. Look at this expansive Arctic air spilling in on the center half of the country. 7 degrees right now in Minneapolis, 27 in Kansas City, and 41 down there in Dallas. Factor in the wind or what it feels like outside, oh, it's only minus 14 there in Minneapolis. So very cold temperatures there off to the north. We're going to tap in on some of this Arctic air in our section of the country here as we work throughout this week. Today's highs, we're going getting up to 12 degrees in Minneapolis, 36 Kansas City, 41 in Denver, and 29 in Billings. And cold temperatures continue to expand as we head into tomorrow. 1 degree, that's it, Minneapolis for tomorrow's high. 22 Kansas City, 35 Cincinnati, and 48 out there in Las Vegas. Now the big story here is we track this Arctic air up here in the northern plains here, parts of North Dakota and Minnesota. Wind chill warnings are in effect. Wind chills could drop as low as -50 in these locations. So hypothermia can set in as little as a half hour, maybe even 10 minutes in some areas in these locations. We do have winter weather alerts, winter weather advisories continue throughout parts of the Great Lakes region and throughout parts of the Central Plains here as well. Winter storm warnings as well for Montana as well as some of these areas here off to the west. Now the big story here as we look off to the south is the rain chances heading into this weekend. That's going to play a role in the Super Bowl forecast here. So look, we still have that cold front here situated off to the southeast working its way on through. A little bit of reinforcing low pressure is going to work into the area there. That's going to lead to some rain showers here as we head into late in the day on Sunday. Here by Sunday morning, you see the cold front is still starting to work its way on through. Could see some scattered rain showers there early on Sunday. But notice by the time we get to game time here around 6 o'clock, the rain clears out. So not looking at any rain to impact the game. Going to be a pretty nice evening for the game. Nothing like when my Colts won the Super Bowl back in 2007 when it rained the entire game. So certainly great forecast for the Super Bowl, and that's the latest here in national weather. Back to you.
All right, Nathan, thank you so much. Hey, you want to come over here and join us?
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
We can talk a little bit.
Talk a little more about my Colts.
Yeah, by the way, 14 years ago yesterday, the anniversary of that big day.
What a great night that was.
Yeah, it was incredible. And by the way, looking at that weather forecast, you know, it's nice to see that the rain's going to move out by the time the game gets underway, but really cold temperatures, you know, across much of the country.
Yeah, there's some cold air is going to work its way on the backside of that front, so maybe a little chilly for the folks that get to go out to the game for the Super Bowl, but still, sunshine's going to be pretty nice by the time we get to the game time there.
All right.
I guess it's a good thing they had it in Florida this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, gentlemen, got a question for you guys. You want to go to space? Want to take a trip?
Yeah, why not? We got time.
We're out of
why
this
not?
world.
Hey, you may soon have your chance to do just that.
And we've got details for that right after Your Weather Now.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
Hey, look at that right there. Tampa Bay, Florida. Very beautiful at 8:17 on this Friday morning. I know Blake and Nathan, they're going to be talking about the Super Bowl along. That's coming along a bit later on, but first let's talk about some space news here on this Friday. Have you ever dreamt of going to space? I know I have, and SpaceX, they've announced its first commercial mission to space with an all-civilian crew. A SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft will make the multi-day trip into Earth's orbit sometime later this year. The mission is called Inspiration 4. The multi-million-dollar trip will send entrepreneur Jacob Isaacman and 3 others into space. 2 seats will be donated to a St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital ambassador and a member of the public who enters for a chance to join the trip. The 4th seat is reserved for a winner of a contest put on by Isaacman. How cool is that?
Well, absolutely. And you can't have a Super Bowl without food, and you can't have space without food. So NASA, they're offering thousands of dollars to people who can come up with some healthy and sustainable food for outer space. The space agency has started a deep space food challenge. Participants will design nutritious food systems for missions to Mars and beyond. People in the U.S. can compete for up to $500,000. NASA notes the food must meet the caloric and nutritional requirements for the astronauts. This is just phase 1 of the competition. Phase 2 could include a kitchen demonstration.
Yeah, Blake, I think you should enter that.
Well,
Seriously.
I'm not the best cook myself. If you ask Nathan over there, I almost burned down the apartment last week.
Yeah, Blake and Nathan are roommates. And by the way, I know inside your guys' apartment, it's definitely probably warmer than it is outside.
Well, especially when I'm cooking.
Yeah, so let's go ahead now and talk about those cold temperatures. Nathan, good morning once again, my friend.
Hey, good morning. We are cooking up some cold temperatures here in Cardinal Weather here this morning. We're still sitting at 20 degrees here in Muncie, 15 in Fort Wayne, 24 in Shelbyville, and 20 here in the Circle City this morning. Factoring the wind or what it feels like outside, 8 degrees here in Muncie, 5 in Indianapolis, and a lowly -3 up there in Fort Wayne. Now, as we work throughout the day today, the big story is going to be those wind gusts. As we get really windy here this afternoon, wind gusts over 30 miles per hour possible in some locations. Bundle up. Is going to be a very chilly afternoon here out ahead with these winds working their way on through, and that's going to create some very cold wind chills as well here throughout the day. Here by noon, wind chill only of 11 degrees here, and these wind chills only rise into the mid-teens throughout the afternoon hours before they drop right back down heading into Saturday morning, right back into the single digits. Some areas could go below zero, especially in our rural areas, so a very cold start to your weekend as well. So some good reminders here about wind chill. Again, wind chill is what it feels like outside when you factor in the wind, so have those extra layers as you work out throughout the rest of this week. And it's going to be a very chilly week up here ahead. We're going to watch out for the potential for frostbite and hypothermia. Wear those multiple layers here throughout the rest of this week. Radar is pretty quiet here this morning. Some sunshine here across the local section of the area. We had that cold front work its way through last night. Still seeing some locations of a few snow showers that could work their way through the area by the time we get to this afternoon. Let's time that out here on Precision Cast here. By this afternoon, a few of those snow showers could work their way on through here by mid-afternoon. Stop the clock here at 3 o'clock. Seeing a few scattered snow showers. Expecting locations to remain mainly dry here throughout the day today. Still see a few of those scattered flurries at times throughout the day today. Temperatures warming up here to around the mid-20s here by 5 o'clock with those mostly cloudy to cloudy conditions throughout the rest of the day today. A cold night out here ahead, a low of 9 degrees. Winds out of the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour with those partly cloudy skies. Starting off some sunshine to start your weekend here, but more chances for snow arrive by late in the day. Here by 6 o'clock throughout the evening commute, seeing those clouds returning to the area. Here comes the snow by Saturday night here at 10 o'clock, working through the overnight hours to start your Sunday. Looking at accumulations be pretty light here overall, so certainly we'll be tracking that snow as we get closer to Saturday night and heading into Sunday morning. As we track the temperatures here tomorrow, it's going to be a cooler day out ahead. Temperature warming to only 21 degrees for that high temperature. A little bit less in the wind department here as well. Look at tomorrow night's low, though. 6 degrees with those snow showers working their way on through. Winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So very cool conditions heading into tomorrow night with those snow showers as well. And cold temperatures and low wind chills remain the story here all throughout the week. Looking at our jet stream map here, and this separating the warm and the cool air masses, remaining under the influence of this Arctic air mass throughout much of this week. Very cold wind chills and cold temperatures continuing all throughout the week, and you're going to see that here on the mid-7-day forecast. So see these temperatures, windy today, 25 degrees, 21 degrees for your Saturday, holding on the chance for a few snow showers there on Sunday morning, 14 degrees. Snow chances on Monday and Tuesday before these temperatures continue to fall to a low of around 0 there by the time we get to later.
That's absolutely brutal, Nathan.
Yeah, I don't like the cold weather. By the way, I feel like that we have this ongoing joke where all the bad weather seems to come on the weekends.
It seems like it. I've got to coach a bowling meet this weekend, so I'm glad that's going to be inside.
Yeah, Coach Blake will be able to get heated inside if his team does bad. By the way, if they do good, hopefully you're
if they do
able to
bad,
have a smile
wow.
on your face. All right, Nathan, thank you so much.
All right, so in moments, we're going to be getting you set for Super Bowl 55. Myself, Nathan, and Amani will have the predictions on the big game.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a Chiefs win. Plus, we're going to have a recap of this week's news in your Cardinal Weather News Minute. Stay with us.
From the heart of Ball State to the heart of your community, NewsLink Indiana brings you local and state news you care about. We pride ourselves with giving you the most reliable news coverage, stories that affect you, linking you to the community each night on air and online. NewsLink Indiana, bringing news to the heart of your community.
Welcome back. Time to take a look at some of the top stories from this week in your Cardinal Weather News Minute. Lawmakers in Washington and the new legal team for former President Donald Trump are preparing for his second impeachment trial. David Schoen and Bruce Castor will lead Trump's legal team. Schoen has been a part of several high-profile cases. He was slated to represent Jeffrey Epstein before his death. Castor is a former Pennsylvania district attorney and chose not to charge Bill Cosby with sexual assault back in 2005. The trial is set to begin Tuesday. The fall from grace continues for Morgan Wallen this week. The country singer has lost his recording contract after a video surfaced of him using the N-word. Cumulus and iHeartMedia will no longer be playing his music. Country Music Television says Wallen won't be eligible for any awards at this year's ceremony. Wallen has since apologized for the racial slur. And finally, check this out. A scare before Super Bowl 55. According to ESPN, the Kansas City Chiefs team barber tested positive for COVID-19. Backup center Daniel Kilgore was getting a haircut when they found out. Kilgore and receiver Demarcus Robinson were both placed on the reserve COVID list. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes and over a dozen other team staffers were in line to get a haircut when the barber was pulled. And that's your Cardinal Weather News Minute here on this Friday morning. Let's go ahead now and send it into the newsroom, over to Blake and the sports team as we get you set for the big game. Good morning, guys.
NewsLink Indiana Sports Director Blake Dollier, along with Amani Butts and Nathan Gidley. Glad to be with you guys. And, well, it's Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to give you some Super Bowl 55 analysis and just how exciting is this weekend?
Oh, it's going to be great this weekend. I'm so ready to see the Chiefs and the Bucks.
Fascinating matchup here, Blake.
Oh, absolutely. You've got kind of what they call the alleged GOAT against the baby goat, if you will. I'll say alleged GOAT for now. Now let's take a look. Let's break down some of these numbers. We're just 2 days away. We've got the number 2 offense in Kansas City, the number 5 defense in Tampa Bay, and Tom Brady, it's his 10th Super Bowl. He's reached double digits. He's the 4th ever to start with 2 different teams, which is a pretty significant fact there. Actually, Peyton Manning is the only one to win it with 2 teams. And now Patrick Mahomes. He's going to have to deal with a tough Buccaneer defense. They love to blitz, and he's first against the blitz in the NFL. He gets over 9 yards per attempt whenever he's facing the blitz. So let's try to soak this in. Let's make some predictions. I don't know about you guys, but I got to take Kansas City 28-23. I think the Bucs are going to miss an extra point, but Patrick Mahomes and the offense is going to be too powerful. Defense is not going to win a championship this time around.
I love how specific it is. You're going to miss an extra point. So.
Well, you know, you got to be down to a T here. Amani, what do you think?
I would say that the Chiefs are the more explosive team. Mahomes has a way higher quarterback rating this season than Tom Brady. So I'm going to go Chiefs win 35-28.
Nathan, what about you?
The Chiefs' offense is explosive, but I got a feeling there's some Tom Brady magic still left here for Tampa Bay. So I am going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this game.
Of course you want to be different.
Yeah, of course you got to say that. You know, that'd be really deflating, should I say, if the Buccaneers were to win this Super Bowl. And Nathan, all I've got to say about your predictions is I hope it's a little bit better than last time around. Let's take a look at this.
I don't know. It's going to be a tough season. I'm going to go with 1-5.
1-5. Wow. I mean, cut him a little slack.
Oh, man, the self-roast here.
Wow. Well, hey, that was on your Twitter account. I got to give you credit for taking responsibility for those mistakes there.
I own up to it. I'm going to own up to still picking Tampa. 24-21. I still trust the defense. I got some good veterans on that team. Ndamukong Suh, Jason Pierre-Paul. I think they're going to do just enough to slow down Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be a tough matchup here. Really looking forward to this game, the GOAT versus the little GOAT.
So, as Nathan says, defense wins championships, and that'll do it for Super Bowl coverage. Let's get ready for the big game.
All right, guys, thank you so much. By the way, I'm hoping that Gidley is wrong once again. Only one can hope, though. Hey, finally this morning, a cute alert for you. You got to get to your screen right now. One family, they've got a unique way of rooting for their team this year. Take a look at this right here. The family has named a foster dog and her new litter of pups after the Kansas City Chiefs, its coach, and some key players ahead of the Super Bowl. We're talking about the Zapata family right here. They live in the town of Manhattan, Kansas. They started fostering a pregnant dog who gave birth to a litter of 6. So the new mom, she's named after Coach Andy Reid. Her puppies are named Patrick after Patrick Mahomes, Travis after Travis Kelce, Pringle for Brian Pringle, Bell after Le'Veon Bell, Breland after Brashad Breeland, and Ty for Tyreek Hilton. By the way, those puppies are going to be available soon for adoption. How cute is that? Aww.
Oh, man, those are so cute. And, you know, I don't know about you guys personally, but I'm a hound dog guy myself.
Yeah. Well, you know what's not cute and cuddly? That weather as we take one final check of that 7-day. Nathan Gidley, 1-5. And you're predicting the Bucks to win. Come on now.
Well, if your dogs love snow and cold temperatures, this is the forecast for you. 25 degrees here today. 21 on Saturday. Snow chances return those Saturday night into Sunday. Could see light accumulations then. 14 degrees chance for snow on Monday and Tuesday. High 25 and 20. And temperatures falling once again next week.
All right. Hey, enjoy the big game, folks. We'll see you next Friday. NewsLink Indiana begins on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Stay warm.